working this like that. Therefore, we are, you know, that's preaching means that you catch the fish without getting wet, right? Prabhupada said. So it means we associate people outside for the sake of preaching. It means we deliver, but we don't take their association. But once you actually start with them, associate closely. And many of you who are actually working, you know, you're facing these things, right? You kind of have to associate. So usually you have to be very careful till what degree you go. Because like, I remember one of my friends in Delhi, he's one of the senior managers in, what is it called? IBM, right? And because he's a senior manager, so he has to organize these parties for his workers and like that. And because he's organizing it, he also had to come there also. If you are just ordinary worker, if you quit, if you don't come, that's no big deal. But if you are actually the one who organized things, you should actually appear there. So I asked him how he is doing, and then he described me that actually he always orders or from Govinda something, and then they will bring something specific for him, or he takes just some juice or something like that, you know. But still, he said that he's always trying to cut it as less, you know, time to spend there as possible. That he will actually, and he understood that that's a waste of the time. But that's the problem with this thing. If you start to associate, you know, you want to get a degree in certain knowledge, you will have to spend time. You will have to spend your energy. You have to study this thing. You have to absorb these things. You will have less time to study Prabhupada books, for example. As simple as that. So, what's the point, you know? And I have a friend who actually, he was studying Sanskrit in a, like a university, not with devotees. And then he's a preacher, he's traveling preaching also. And then I asked him after 1 year, so how is going your studies? And he said, I quit. It was horrible. Because of association and because all their concepts and everything, you know, because many times they're also attacking Krishna. Especially Indologists and the Sanskrit, those study Sanskrit, the materialists, they are many times taking the scriptural things and they are actually saying, oh, this is not like that, this is just the symbolic and like that. No, how you can listen to this as a devotee? Right? So, if not necessary, you can avoid it. Shouldn't waste our time. Yeah, and in paragraph 5, this was also Stasmaya was saying that Prabhupada is criticizing Vedavada Ratha and Maya Pahidajana. So that Prabhupada says actually that this class, they are called Vedavada Ratha, they have misguided knowledge of the Vedas. They are, many times they are demons. Do you know some demon from the history? Hiranyakashipu, another? Ravana. Ravana was expert. He was doing, you know, if like you invite a priest for doing marriage, Ravana was expert in that. He was expert in reciting Vedic mantras. He was so good in it, it's mentioned. Demon. Exactly perfect example. So.
Even in the 7th canto, Hiranyakashipu is speaking Bhagavad Gita philosophy.
It's perfect. I'm using it for preaching, you know. He's very good. And actually he pacifies them by that. The wives of Hiranyaksha. He pacified them because he's so good. Because he actually touched the important thing. A demon. So they can use all parts of the Vedas. They only don't like this part where the Vishnu is. Vishnu, the point is they don't even like say that he doesn't exist. They, like Hiranyakashipu, he came to the point that he wants to kill him. He was thinking, if he is here, doesn't matter, I will just wipe him out. Therefore, when he actually saw that, we discussed it, remember Prabhu? When he saw actually Narasimha there, he was thinking, he's not matched to me. Anyway, some plan, you know, we should devise some plan, no problem, I will handle it. So he was so convinced. Demon. Another thing that they are backed up with the Vedas.
Sometimes Narasimha, they would let him go.
Then he would get courage.
Then he would think, oh, I'm actually very
yeah.
that he cannot hold me.
Yeah. So, God played with him, right? But actually this, and he was, because why? Because he was backed up with the Vedic scriptures. He was backed up again with some authority, so he was strong, right? That's what makes it, you get here some professor from university, you will see with what we are talking about, you know. if they are not like really especially purified by Krishna's mercy, such a difficult people. You have to be like so sensitive about them and not to talk. Prabhupada was very good how he was handling these people. You can observe some conversations or videos when he speaks with this kind of people like that. It was very good. And you can see he was very straightforward. He was not actually much going around, and it worked with these people. So we can keep the same spirit. So then Prabhupada is explaining about that they are misusing the religion also. What they do, these kind of people, they actually, therefore also another point, I mean, this so-called knowledge, that they are using the religion for actually their own benefits, right? They think that the religion is meant for just to generate some funds, some money, right? Some economic development. Huh? Yeah, they think like that.
The reason I was asking is that Prabhu Krishna says, the translation is usually everybody starts with the Brahmavadis. They want to be impersonalists, they want to worship the God. As they progress with the Paramatma realization and his Bhagavan realization. So Prabhupada is not to do Bhagavan realization. And also, all the three is there. But none of the three, out of the three is not the bad, but that leads to progressing with that. But when it applies to that here, so the so-called knowledge can be misleading. So when Krishna says in Bhakti Yoga, he never abandoned them. Arjuna asked this question first chapter. So should I worship you impersonal or personal? Which is the better? Krishna never said impersonal is wrong. He said it's difficult. He gave many gradations. So then eventually he said personal is Bhakti Yoga. That's my opinion. He asked economic to say that is good. Bhagavad Gita says that, Srimad Bhagavatam says that. Upanishad, which is the summary of all this Vedic knowledge, is supposed to back it up. So when it says, that means it's the meaning. But how do we understand? This is these people who goes to doctor's reason. Srimad Bhagavatam never said that.
These people what?
So-called this, they go to this doctor's reasons. So that means hellish planets. So how do people can understand? That's what I want to bring it up. Because I just want to explain where I'm coming from. So that means Krishna.
But as I said, the darkest region not necessarily mean hellish planets.
So that's what we want.
That means
Illusion.
Yeah, illusion, distance from Krishna, more covering, right? It does not necessarily mean that you have to go to the hellish planet. That also is there, but it's not necessarily illusion. Like I said, even Brahmajyoti is hellish also. That's the point, because in Brahmajyoti you are very far from Krishna, sure.
Yeah, because there are some people, Sukadeva Maharaj was an impersonal, and 4 Kumars were impersonal. So we have seen some people in the past how something happened, so they became amazing transcendentalist. So it's not like that. You should not look upon them as a down, but they are actually the path, perfection.
It's gradual path.
Yes.
It's gradual path.
Krishna says that, yeah. But he never abandoned it.
No, but we don't say that.
Yeah.
We don't say that. I mean that we should, of course, respect the transcendentalists. The point is that. But this gradual path, and of course, the Srila Goswami and Kumaras, they are just playing the role. They were actually never in personalities. Kumaras are residing in Vaikuntha, and they were always residing in Vaikuntha, and this is described in the Bhagavatamrita, that they come to Tapoloka only for the sake of the sages. And another is that Srila Goswami is a personal parrot of Srimati Radharani, right? So, but he acts like, for example, even who was it? Gaur Kishore Babaji? Even who was that? Gaur Kishore Babaji, he was Shakta, right? In the beginning. He was worshipping Durga Devi, I think. But actually he's pure Vaishnava. It was just a external covering of his realization. This is like, or you can even say Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, right? Let's say they were so much driven by their material desires that they gave up even their Brahmanic status and they became the right hand of the Muslim ruler. They do not have to do it, right? If they were, but this is just the, how to say, to show the greatness of the bhakti, of the holy name, right? So the same way all these people are acting as a role, right? The Kumaras, they smell the lotus.
The tulsi leaf.
Yeah, tulsi leaves. They are acting to show the greatness. Actually, majority of great personalities of Bhagavatam are, they're just, like for example, Ramachandra Puri from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. He's actually a demon, right? He's criticizing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And not only,
by eating the sweets. By eating the sweets.
Yeah. He was telling that he's eating sweets and he's eating too much and devotees are overeating, where he was criticizing. And he was condemned by his own spiritual master that he's a Mayavadi. But actually, in the spiritual world, he's Jatila. This is Garudanavesha Dipika, you know. So, they are acting to teach us a lessons, right? So, but it's making the point, you know, that, you know, if you behave like that, that will be the reaction. If you follow this path, this will be the goal. That's all. But the majority of these personalities are great souls, and you cannot just appear in Bhagavatam, you know, if you have no one. Even like, you know, Hiranyakashipu was saying, right? It's a devotees. So, maybe it's like that. There is one thing with this Vedavadaratas. They have also their, you mentioned that parampara like that. Prabhupada said they have their own parampara also. And they have their own acharyas also. They have their own, even they sometimes follow the same scriptures, but we have a little different. Huh?
Most of
them.
There is only one source.
Yeah. But they have a little different version.
Translation.
And they have their own, so they have their own acharyas, they have their own parampara, right? They have their own gurus. They have even, sometimes they claim themselves as a incarnation of Prabhupada says here, self-made gods. Or let's say they are at least like a partial incarnation like that, you know, some of them. Like, who was it? Satya Sai Baba, for example. He's a perfect example. He was actually, they always say that he never claimed that he's a god. Yeah, but he never denied when they were addressing him like that. He never denied. Maybe he never said that. I never studied his books. My wife, she actually, before she joined, she was following.
She can speak.
Yeah, she can hear us. She can tell you. So he never denied that he's actually the god.
Yeah, somebody went ash for cash.
Ash for cash.
Used to do actually.
Yeah. So he was self-made God, right? Actually, he's a typical example. He had some powers. He was actually yogi. You cannot get, even if he didn't have this power, they say that it was a tereka like that. Even if he didn't have, still he had that much power that he could, he could influence the minds of this yogic power also. Prabhupada said even politicians, they have yogic powers. Like for example, let's say Trump, you know, he's able to mesmerize like half of the USA. How is that possible?
Half of the
51%.
How much is it currently? Do you know?
51% of voters.
50, okay. So
people here tell us almost 51%.
how is it possible? You have to have some power. Is it actually maybe he didn't have any yoga in this life, but he's coming from some pious background. He was doing pious deeds. He's rich. He's successful. You know, he's powerful. This doesn't come from being a drunkard and junkie in previous life.
He doesn't drink.
And he doesn't drink either.
Yeah, he doesn't. Because his brother died there drinking.
How do you know all these things? You are not American even born here, you know. I mean, maybe you are American now, but you are not born here.
He has to
elect a leader. He should know about it.
He has to what?
He has to elect somebody.
But he has to study to do also.
There's another thing which we discussed with devotees with this nectar of instruction, that the election is another waste of the time for the devotees.
Yes.
Because if you want to elect, you have to study exactly. You have to know all these things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't know these things, you are total fool number one going electing.
You get yourself.
So if you are not fool number one, then you have to study these things. Then you are fool number two.
But we have less
Actually,
options.
Donald Trump helped Jagannath Tirthakara one time.
That's for his eternal benefit. Nobody can deny that. But it doesn't mean that we have to vote him.
But however, when we have demons, we have to pick one demon.
You don't have to. You don't have to. That's the point. That we live in illusion that we have to know. We are free from this.
We can abstain.
Exactly. Because we are busy. That's the point. That we are busy with something more important.
So
we should
not elect anything.
No.
So the lesser demon of the two.
Don't worry. Karma will take care of it. Your vote will not change it. The point is that you are just getting entangled with karma. If you vote, then you will be shut also.
But however, once again, for example, if you see India.
Now I touch the sensitive stuff.
That's
Don't worry. In India, I saw sannyasi who was going for election. Here, this, in India, they give you this mark.
Yeah. Because what happens nowadays, those who are mass conversation going on, converting to Islam, converting to Muslim. So what happens if you don't have a walls, forget about protecting it at home. If the other side, all the sides of India is like these people are inside and they're converting mass, killing, brutalism, everything. If you don't have, otherwise first time they destroy the culture, they destroy the temples, they deny like so many things. So we have to protect that Vedic culture. Even though so-called Hinduism, but still we have to protect somebody who can protect. Otherwise, if this, like in what's happening in Syria, what's happening in Lebanon, so what happens is forget about preaching, nothing happens.
I'll ask you a question. Did this happen in the history also?
Yes, because protection was still there.
And what was the solution of the devotees when this was happening? What they did?
When it is necessary, we have to take the weapon.
No. What devotees, what they were doing if there were troubles? Let's say Hiranyakashipu was troubling them, or any demon. What they were doing, devotees.
Lord Chaitanya took that.
They took
They will
shelter.
march towards Chankaji's home. All the, when they broke the drum.
He took this march for which reason?
So that Sankirtan movement will go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, but our Sankirtan movement can impact. People.
Okay, is it impacted?
It is impacting right now in Bangladesh. You know what's happening? They're destroying the temples, they're raping the Hindu ones, they're killing the Hindus. So because why the country? That's going to happen in India not very soon. Next 20, 30 years, if you don't do something now, so it's not going
Okay, so what we should do?
We should also practice this. We should also fight for the rights.
What we should do? What do you think? Ladies, what do you think?
Or fighting, supporting who's fighting. We cannot fight predators, we can support those who fight.
Who is in charge of everything? What we learn in Isopanisad. So Krishna is controlling everything and owing everything.
Yes.
So you think that if you be just serving Krishna,
To show that Krishna, I'm part of it. Because what happened? Everybody thinks
that's the illusion. You are actually not part of it. You are actually the spirit and you don't belong to this world. That's the illusion that you think that you are part of it. That's we are living on this impression that we belong to this place and we should do something. And therefore we study these things that we will get rid of this illusion.
But while we're here, we are in the body.
Therefore we have to execute devotional service. This is discussed in the mantra 11. We have to execute we have to make best bargain. What is it called? Best use of the best bargain. That means what it says in mantra 11. That what is the use of cultivating nescience? Only for the maintaining the body, for executing devotional service. That's the only nescience which we use in our lives.
But I think what he's saying that if we don't stop ISIS or some people,
If we keep chanting,
then we
Hare
will not be
Krishna,
able to propagate or we could not go out and do distribution or
Srila
whatever.
Prabhupada, for example, said that the communism will be destroyed by the spreading Krishna conscious movement, not by electing or something like that. And this is exactly what happened in my country, in Russia and everywhere else. Communism fall apart. One point, it just fall apart. How it happened? Technically, that Gorbachev came and he did perestroika, whatever. You can study all these technical reasons. But actually what happened, because Prabhupada said, and because Krishna was behind, and he made his moves. How technically happened? That's Krishna's business. That's what Krishna says to Arjuna. He said, don't worry. And even if you will not fight, they are dead anyway.
No, there's a thing called, we're not worrying. This is, prevention is better than cure. Because you know, we are sitting here, somebody is going to attack the temple right now. So we chant Hare Krishna. That's very good. We'll do that. We'll not stop it. At the same time, locking the door is our responsibility. You agree? At least locking the response. I can keep the door and Krishna will protect. No, I have to do my duty. At least prevention. We cannot fight, definitely. We have to continue chanting. We have to do all those things. There is no denying. And besides that, we have an option to protect the religion.
Okay, there is another thing. Srila Prabhu, he was so much worried about the upcoming war. And he wrote to Prabhupada several times about it. And one point Prabhupada told him, don't worry about these things, just preach Bhagavatam. And even if the war will come, we will still be preaching Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
So we should not worry for this. That's the point, that we are worrying because we think we are part of this material creation. Therefore we are identifying with it and we are worrying. As a devotee, you don't worry, you do your duty. When it comes to situation, of course, if someone will come to the temple, we will stand up. We will not be sitting like a dead dog stones here.
That's all I'm saying. At that time also, instead of standing, you should not say Hare Krishna. You have to do all one. I totally agree with you.
That's there. But like, for example, what we started about the election and these things, you know, we are not participating in that. This is their business. They can do whatever they want. And that is the what to say, that it's already predicted what it will happen. That the president, Trump will be president, it is already in his karma. Doesn't matter if you vote or not. That's what Krishna says to Arjuna. You kill them or not, they are dead anyway. You can take credit, Krishna told him, from that. So you can take credit now by executing the ocean service and not to get engaged in these activities. That's your choice. But we should have we should not make philosophy from our misconception. We can have some conditioned nature, we can have some attachments, that's fine. Everybody, I'm not perfect, many of you may be also not here perfect. But we should not make philosophy from that. We should understand, this is my imperfection, this is the ideal. I should go towards that ideal, maybe it will take me some time. Maybe, let's say I'm attached to living in America, so I would like to participate in that country, but I should understand this is my imperfection, that I identify with that country, because I don't belong nor India, nor America, nor nothing else. But we should not make philosophy of it. But if you want, okay, that's your choice, but we should also understand that it's what is what. If something is white, something is black, something is grey, We should not think that this is whatever we want.
Yeah, but actually one point I just wanted to add, these things you talked about, Sai Baba, right? They're so attractive in the sense like he used to have big schemes for bringing water from, like where there was no water in that area for like so he used to have big hospitals and all. It's so attractive. So it becomes very difficult to.
Attractive for those who don't have knowledge. If they don't have knowledge, then that's what it says, that they will be confused by this Maya Aparita Jnana. The knowledge will be taken by illusion. They will be confused.
They are mostly charitable organizations than religious.
That's what it says, that they are focused on a material enjoyment, sense gratification. Actually, it's just connected with sense gratification, nothing else.
So if you discount all the other activities like that, then why is Krishna creating such a situation? Right? So you have to exist here in this world.
Krishna doesn't create that situation. You created that situation.
Krishna created a separate world.
What Krishna created, what says Bhagavatam. What is the purpose of his creation?
Beautiful.
What is that?
There are two things. Or sense gratification, or going back on the cloud. For these two purposes the creation was created. Those who go that path of sense gratification, they will be degraded. Those who choose the other path will be elevated. And then what it says,
Krishna's arrangement as well.
for example, you have to execute your necessary duties if you live in this world.
Election, voting, elections.
It's not your duty. It is not their duty. I never elected, I'm 40 years old. If you say that it's a duty, why I'm not punished by something? It's not a duty. There are certain duties which you have to do. You have to drive on the right side of the road with a car. You cannot, it's not optional.
See, there are so many people who think like that. There are a lot of people who don't want to go and vote. So if there are 60% of people come and vote, that's why the results are like this. If 95%
If you
come and vote,
identify with this material world, then you will think that you have to vote. This is because of identification with this material body. There is nothing else. Because we think we are this body, we belong to a certain nation. What if you will move after 10 years back to India? You will forget about what is happening here. You will be coming every election here and voting? No, because it's temporary. Because it's nothing connected with you. Even in this material life, within one life, you can change it. Because it's connected with the body.
I wanted to say that in terms of election, personally, I've not done election once because my consideration is, can I actually vouch for the person I want to vote? In terms of his character, in terms of his standard of application of knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So if I don't see anybody to vote for, then why should I vote? That is how I consider it as a person. If I don't see the person qualified to have my vote, then I should not vote for anybody. That is why I was not really voting. Because if you vote for somebody, then you become implicated by whatever he does. So, for instance, if you vote for somebody, you should be able to know that a person should be able to represent